Check 1 2.
From Charlotte, North Carolina, at a combined weight of over 660 pounds, Rody Rob, Adam Bomb, Bionic Brian, the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. This is another saga in my ongoing battle with technology. Apparently, you can hear me, but you couldn't hear the intro music. Fucked if I know why. But I am your host, Adam Bomb, and alongside the Bionic one, Brian. What is going on, sir?
Hello. I have cold feet, Adam.
You,
Tell you.
You have cold feet about what?
No, like literal cold feet. I have a blanket wrapped up. I'm just a little chilly right now.
Oh, you should get in a wheelchair and join the Sunny Gang.
I could do that.
Suffering from polio in a mall.
Could do that. Well, yeah, I don't want to go that far, but I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Well, I mean, that's why the bar is empty behind me. As you see, I'm at Patty's.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So,
yeah, man, I'm doing well. Tonight was a good episode of. We'll talk about it, but I enjoyed myself. I don't know how.
Yeah, I think there's some good. I definitely don't want to start with the main event, so we're gonna run the card down in order. But before we do, let's introduce our YouTube live chat board. We got John Estrada, Soji's here, Christopher Stikelether, Daniel Price. I don't know if anyone else has trickled in since I was having technical difficulties, but welcome everyone.
Hello.
Match number 1 is going to be Christian Cage against Matt Sydal. I thought it was funny that the announce team calls these guys both veterans, which they definitely are. But Christian is gotta be at least 5+ years older than Matt Sydal, right?
5 years? Yeah, maybe. Let me see if I can find you real quick. But I mean, Sydal, he's been wrestling for
no question. I'm not
definitely
questioning.
not as long.
Yeah,
but...
I'm not questioning whether they
Sure.
both deserve veteran status. It just
Right.
felt weird because, you know, if someone called Sting and Christian veteran status, there's a decade between their ages.
Right.
You know, it feels weird when they're not close in age.
Sure. So Sydal is 38. So
Yeah.
he is actually quite a bit younger because Christian's what, 45?
46-ish. Anyway,
Yeah.
the match was good. I hate when AEW has to do this. I get some of it, but the reason I hate it is because it's turning into paint by numbers. Like, you're like, okay, we have a quality curtain match. No denying that, Brian.
Sure.
Between the ropes, especially these two guys. These two guys can wrestle. They do full circle. They are veterans who have earned their status. No question. So, but why after the match, why couldn't this be something different instead of the same? I have no problem with the feud, the angle, the build, Team Taz and all this. Starks coming out on the ramp, kind of a red herring, draws eyes to him so that Team Taz can jump him from behind, jump both Sydal and Cage from behind.
Right.
Then we don't have enough people out here. So Hangman.
It's AEW, man. Come on, yeah.
Hangman literally. Okay, now this is a moment. I mean, this is if this formula wasn't done so many times, this would probably be moment of the night because Hangman Brian literally says, "Hold my beer." And
hold my beer or whiskey, whatever the hell it was.
Whatever the hell it was. You know what I'm saying, though. He hands it to Starks. He got a little bit of shine. He made some saves for a minute, but ultimately he was not gonna cut it against the power of Team Taz.
No, yeah, I'm still kind of curious what they're doing, and I like that they're still keeping, because I don't know if you know that Starks is banged up, his neck is all messed up, so he's gonna be out for a little bit. So I like that they're keeping him on TV and keeping him involved with everything. I just don't know really what the end game is, because now we have Christian, and now Matt Sydal, and now what? I guess Hangman is going to be an ally in this feud with Team Taz. It is a little confusing, I will say.
I hate to say it, and I'm probably right. What's the one thing in common right now between all these men?
One thing in common.
They have one thing that is absolute in common. It's not even arguable. Right?
With who?
With each other.
Everyone? Like Taz?
Everyone we just talked
Christian?
about. They have one thing in common.
Let's see. Well, they're all co-workers of Joey Janela.
Okay, you're taking way too long to get there. So let me just spell it out for you. I'll make it easy.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
They are all not booked currently for Double or Nothing.
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this message.
I was going way too deep. Yeah, you're right.
So very simply, I believe this is a Team Taz versus the other guys.
Sure.
8-man fucking tag match. Gonna get thrown in for no reason, quite honestly. Maybe it's a 6-man tag.
Let's see. 6-man. Well, I don't think Starks is going to be ready. So it's not going to be Starks.
But you still got Cage, Powerhouse, and what, Taz's son? I don't know.
I don't know if he's ready for like a match yet. I guess you could have him in. I really don't know.
Maybe it's not Sydal. Maybe Sydal slides out of the picture and it's Cage and Page.
It's just a tag match, right?
Yeah, it's Cage and Page versus Cage and Hobbs.
Too many Cages and Ages and Ages. Oh my!
All kind of Azers.
Right? Yeah.
What's up, Vice? What's up, Sealer Stout?
Hey, Stout. What's up?
So, again, though, this is, if this was a one-off type of segment instead of the paint by numbers stuff, I think I would like it a lot more, because the whole thing. Oh, apparently Stike is correcting me. Brian Cage and Hangman are official for Double or Nothing.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay,
I forgot about that.
Okay.
I wrote it down on the other computer. I'm on the wrong fucking side of the desk, even though it looks like I'm in the exact same spot at Patty's. You know, like I never move.
Hey, that's pretty cool, man. One-on-one between Cage.
Yeah, dude, the whole board, everybody on the board is calling me out. Not just like now. They're like, dude, we went over this. We're fighting each other.
I mean, in your defense, I could have helped you out there, but
yeah, Brian went down with me. He didn't know any better.
I did. I will go down with the ship. I will go down with you. Yes, I must have missed that as well.
We'll get to that, Soji. Just wait. We'll get to that. So,
yeah. Oh God.
Maybe this is to put Christian in Hangman's corner then against Cage, or for him to make the save. I still think there's something involved here that they're just carrying and going to carry over into Double or Nothing in some way. Match number 2. I know I'm skipping around a little bit, but we're going to go to the matches here. Eddie and Mox taking on the Acclaimed. This is the I'm just going to read you exactly what I wrote in my notes, Brian.
Sure.
The Acclaimed here is taking Hybrid 2 spot.
Yeah.
As guys that, you know, entertaining, deserve their spot on the roster, but when they get on Dynamite, it's to take an L.
Sure.
And that's what happened.
There's no denying that.
So no big deal. This is gonna set up, and we're just gonna blow past this, Brian, because it's gonna circle back at the end of the night anyway. After this, we see Ethan Page, who is not teaming with Brian Cage to take on Hangman and
No.
Christian in
No,
the
no.
Page Cage match.
Yeah, don't get it confused.
How crazy would that be if Cage fought Cage in a cage match?
They should.
Right? Anyway,
They should.
Scorpio, Ethan Page, they call out Sting and Darby, and Sting and Darby came out swinging. We even have another Dark Order sighting.
Hey, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So match number 2 doesn't have a bunch of people coming out after the end of it. So promo number 2 does instead.
Mm-hmm.
Or excuse me, promo number 1 to make up for it. I'm trying hard. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand why Scorpio is paired with Ethan Page.
Oh, I know.
We've
We've covered
it.
Bitched
But
about
now
that.
I don't understand why Dark Order is coming out with Darby and Sting. Is there a chance that one of them or both are going to be part of Dark Order?
No, Sting, I don't think so. I don't think Sting will go in. And Darby, no.
Even Sting was part of the NWO at one point, Brian. Even if it was just Wolfpack, it counts. Counts, damn it.
Well, no, it does count. I'm not disputing that. I don't know, man. I really don't see it. I will. This is kind of random, but since we're talking about Sting, I will say that it is kind of funny that they're like making it clear that it's not a cinematic match. Like they said it numerous times when they announced the tag match. Like, this is not going to be a cinematic. This is going to be live in person. I don't know.
Because they copped out last time.
Right. But it's cool. It's cool that it's going to be in person. But
say what you will about some of WWE's choices, but they never come out and flat out kind of admit their mistakes. I feel like AEW makes it sure over top by saying that. They're like, hey, we want you to know that Sting's really wrestling this time.
Right.
We're not just going to film a bunch of stunts with Darby. So,
right. Well, the first one wasn't bad, but
it wasn't bad. We'll
see how this one is.
I did like it.
Yeah, right.
I questioned how they could do it any other way, so we'll find out here. Catching up on the board, Acclaimed bought their wraps at John Cena's garage sale. That's from DP.
Oh, DP.
And he also adds, any value Ethan Page had as a member of the North is gone. He's a tool now. Soji agrees with me. He likes the Acclaim, but they always lose on the main show.
Yeah.
And Stike says, so Dark Order is feuding with Matt Hardy's camp and Ethan and Scorpio. Yeah, we don't. It's a head scratcher on everything that's going on with Dark Order now. And Anaconda Vice says Darby leads them now. Vice, I don't know that's I don't like the idea, but Brian, think about it. What else? I mean, it does kind of make a little bit of sense.
Darby? No, I can't see him as the leader of a.
I don't see him as the leader of Dark Order either. But what is he going to do now? What is he going to do if he moves away from the Sting feud, which I believe has to evolve to Archer? I believe, the Sting and Archer angle is more everything. We've already seen the Archer Darby. So it makes sense, instead of leaving Darby out in the cold, just to do his little stunt videos like Miro said.
Right. I don't know. The more the weeks go on, I mean, what about the possibility of seeing Darby versus Sting after all this is said and done, after the whole, they tag, maybe doesn't go so well?
Stike is suggesting Sting be a mentor and leader to Dark Order, kind of like bringing Darby in, and maybe that's when, I don't know.
That's so goofy. He can't do something new like that this late in his career. That's like a total 180. Even when he was doing like the Joker stuff.
Yeah, and Vice wants to make sure we know he doesn't like it, but he thinks it's going to happen. I'm with him. I don't like it either, but I think it's going to happen. Let's go to the next one.
No chance in fucking hell that happens. No way.
Our normal. Do I have sound effects? I don't have sound.
3.
Oh my God! There you go.
Brian.
Jesus.
I don't know.
I just wanted to play
that. Did it really?
No, I mean a little bit, but it's okay. I'll
Midget,
move on.
please.
The monitors are on here in the studio, I think, so
Ringo.
it's echoing. Dean Malenko sighting. I'm just going to start there on this next one, Brian. We have we have 10 people, 11 if you want to count Tully, involved in this storyline between Pinnacle and Inner Circle.
Mm-hmm.
We had to have all this bullshit tonight to get
What are
to
you talking about?
to get to, because okay, first we have Jericho coming out
Mm-hmm.
with Dean Malenko. He tells Schiavone, don't make me sick the man of 1,000 holds on you.
Right.
Okay, we are fine at this point, Brian. You know why? This is the only thing. All right, so we're going to double dip and we're going to show the Pinnacle at dinner. Okay. I'll bite. We didn't see Pinnacle's side.
They were eating steak. It looked lovely. It looked like they were drinking some sort of red or white Zinfandel, maybe even.
Yep. More later. We're going to have the Inner Circle in the ring. By the way, Santana will be ready soon. He's just hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mike Tyson shows up and takes his spot. Why does Mike Tyson come into storylines and then immediately disappear? That's a different conversation. And then so we have them saying, if we can't win at Stadium Stampede, we agree to break up. Here's my problem, Brian.
Okay.
Every single thing that I just said, and Vice, I want you to pay attention too, because I know you're listening tonight. Every single thing I just said was fine in and of itself tonight. Even the fact that you did all three in one show, that's fine. The problem is, for 3 weeks before Blood and Guts, and now between Blood and Guts and Double or Nothing, all they've done is talk. Talk, 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 talk. You have 11 men. You could be doing some matches. Doesn't have to be anything that you're going to give away. But if these guys are going to take bumps and work together, these 11 men could be doing matches here where they get a chance to work together.
To Stadium Stampede, though, it'll just be... Again, I feel like you said this when they were building up to Blood and Guts, how it was just too many promos and they didn't have any really matches against each other.
And
I just feel like by the time you
get
get to Stadium Stampede, it's going to be, I don't know, you're going to overdo it. I'd rather keep them separated, just have them do promos. I mean, if it delivers as
the
well
message
as...
that Inner Circle said tonight is like, we want to fight. You guys don't want to fight us. We want to fight. You guys are eating dinner. It felt like a lot of time to devote here on a night with 6 matches. It felt like a lot of time to devote to the same story that is kind of all it needed was one of those promos. You could have spread those out between now and Double or Nothing, Brian, instead of jam-packing.
Next week, they're doing the, what are they doing? The weigh-in. So you can't do it next week because they're doing that next week.
So,
Or not the weigh-in. What are they doing?
I hope everybody on YouTube just saw me yawn because the weigh-in?
No. Weigh-in is for Cody.
Another promo?
No.
Who the fuck cares if it's not a weigh-in, if it's a debate, if it's going to be a town hall meeting, whatever they're going to call it, Brian, it's a fucking promo again. There's a lot of talent tied up into this feud. 11 men. Why can't they be wrestling?
Because again, it's gonna be overkill. You don't have to fucking do it all every week. Keep them separated. Don't let them touch. Keep the anticipation up, and then have them go at it at.
If you want to not have
Stampede.
certain things touch, fine. Like if you wanted to wait so that Wardlow and Hager came to blows, fine. But you could have Sammy and Spears. Nothing wrong with that. What's the one match they did do? Dax versus Jericho. That was the one match they've done out of these 11 men in a combo of, yeah. Anyway, I said what I needed to say. As we go to match number 3, Brian, I want to praise AEW greatly.
All right.
Why? Whether you like it or not, they are trying, and tonight was a good showing of that. I have one petty thing I'll add at the end here, but you get 2 women's matches tonight, both featuring champions if you want to get technical. You also have the saga of Jade going on backstage, which, since it's not 3 times a night like Inner Circle, is fine doing what it's doing for now. She's getting away from the Shaq Cody shit. She's doing her own thing. I'm fine with it. But it appears that we're finally getting some more than 10-minute love for the women. And I want to applaud AEW for stepping up and finally recognizing that shit. Because I feel like, and I don't have the numbers to back it, I know at least the 2 times I looked it up, it was that way. But whenever they've had 2 women's matches on one Dynamite, typically they were fire, number 1. And number 2, they were some of the highest rated segments.
Well, I know Ty. She's been in a bunch of super high rated segments on AEW. So I don't know. It could be one of those weird statistics.
Britt has too.
I wish you could verify it.
Well, I know at least the 2 times I looked it up. Because I don't think it's happened a lot where we get 2 matches. But the ones we got tonight were Rebel versus Shida. They at least, unlike the Stadium Stampede, this is a perfect booking. Why? Because Shida's fighting Britt. Rebel's an associate of Britt. This is a perfect lead-in. And what happens? Of course, Shida beats Rebel. Right. And of course, Britt attacks her. Not an entire army of people. But we do have another post-match attack here, is my petty moment. And Britt curbs Shida. We're going to jump past for a second Orange Cassidy. We'll come back. Rebel's not really a wrestler, so I don't mean to shit on that match with this statement that I'm going to make about the next match. But Red Velvet and Serena Deeb. Possible match of the night? Or is it hands
Definitely
down?
Up there. No, I mean, I would give it that one. I mean, what else really? Opening match, I guess, was good, but this was definitely up there. You flip a coin between the 2 of them.
And the only thing that I have petty about this is that Serena Deeb here is possibly only booked because she's the NWA World Champion and not because they wanted to book 2 women's matches. But Serena Deeb and Red Velvet, good match. I've seen this from Serena Deeb, Brian. This is nothing new to me for Serena Deeb. I'm not trying to be on a high horse when I said this, but this was a lot more for Red Velvet. And I thought Red Velvet was kind of showed, we kind of throw the term around more. She was more than just a diva, which is what I thought she mainly was up until this point.
Well, that's because you don't watch her ever on Dark or on any other show except for Dynamite. But she puts those types of matches on all the time, man.
Wow,
I think that's why she's getting one of the pushes. What?
You took that bait and ran with it.
Bait? I mean, what are you talking about, man? I mean,
what's Dark?
Yeah, exactly. Open your eyes, bro. Pay attention. She's been doing this for a few weeks now, if not months.
Yeah.
But she deserves it. She does a great job, and that was an awesome match. And, I don't know. The whole thing that
you knew she wasn't going to win the title, though.
Say it again?
You knew she wasn't going to win the title, though. She's too green.
No, yeah. No,
I mean, that's one of the problems I complain about when, the Acclaimed right after they debuted were fighting the Bucks for the title. You're like, you're not going to win. This was a coming out party for Red Velvet, but by no means was she going to win. Let's check with the board real quick. Estrada says, no, that was match of the night. So, okay.
Cool.
They're also saying Rebel's working punches sucked because she's just a valet. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have to. She has wrestled at times.
You talk about Reba?
Yeah, Reba Rebel.
She's a wrestler. She's trained.
Yeah, she's trained. That doesn't make her good, as I think what the argument is on the board. So let's go back to the middle segment between these two matches here. Ryan, we didn't talk about it because I don't think we knew about it. But I do want to focus on this for a minute because we only got two quick things after this, and one of them I hate. Orange Cassidy, that match, the ending was not supposed to be the way it was.
Correct.
It was supposed to go to a time limit draw, is what a lot of people are saying. So Kenny and everything that they did afterwards was not planned. They had to fill TV time because, and I don't know if you know more than me, Brian, but either Pac knocked Orange Cassidy out with the kick, or he knocked him out with powerbomb. What would the?
No, it wasn't the powerbomb. It was right. I think it was right before that.
It was the kick.
Yeah.
Because I think the powerbomb looks so nasty.
Kick. Right.
Because he was out fucking cold. He's
right.
You know, you told me when I went through a table, you said tuck your chin. I've taken like one bump in my fucking life, and you told me the most important thing: put your chin down to your chest so you take it with your back. Orange Cassidy's head was just flopping before that powerbomb landed, and I'm glad he's not injured more.
No, well, I mean, he's going to be out for probably up until Double or Nothing. I can't see him getting in the ring before then. They're probably going to want to keep him safe.
And they kind of did a little, obviously, to explain it. They had to go with it kayfabe wise, you know. Omega, being the shit fucking person that he is with Callis at his side, offered him a way out, and he can have a better chance later.
Right.
But I think they were genuinely trying to sell the fact that they're afraid that Pac could just take advantage of the weakened OC, and not that the normal triple threat of, hey, well, we don't have to be involved in the pin. I think they were like, dude, you're injured, and our other guy in the triple threat's just going to pin you real quick, and we don't want to see that happen.
I don't know. That's an interesting situation that you have that you put there. But let's see. I'm reading on the board. Let's see. DP is just saying he got concussed from both sides of his head in 20 seconds. Well, yeah, that's true. That was a rough fucking spot.
Yeah, and that was a good match. That's why I hated the finish, but it makes a lot more sense afterwards. I mean, I didn't even see Audrey had thrown up the signal.
No,
Aubrey,
no,
sorry.
I didn't see that at all. But I mean, the whole ending did feel weird. I don't know. I know there was a lot of criticism, but obviously, you know, we're a week after now, and that's kind of what came out. But hopefully, Orange Cassidy is okay. Hopefully, I'm hoping that he can go on at Double or Nothing, because I don't want to see him.
Me too.
Not in the match because of injury. That would suck.
Yeah, well, at least he didn't get injured in a zombie lumberjack match, though.
Well, that's true.
We have a factory and family, whatever. Austin Gunn and Ogogo. You want to talk about this?
I mean, no. There was blood, right? He coughed up blood, or vomited. I don't think he vomited. No, he didn't vomit. There was no vomit. No, you know, yeah, good. I'm sorry, man. You know, I try to be positive about everything AEW, but the Gunn Club, I like Billy Gunn. He's great, right?
Oh yeah, Mr. Ass, great,
the best. But I'm not sold on his. You know, if his kids were doing something like not exactly the same, if they were doing some like a similar gimmick or something, it would be okay. But they're doing the same fucking. It's just, I don't know. It's just a little pet peeve. I'm sorry. I hate to be negative. You know.
Yeah, I think that's the worst indictment to me of anything we watch on any show is like, I don't even want to talk about this.
Right.
You know, I mean, when there's something bad, at least, and we want to talk about it, that means we at least had some emotion. Right. I didn't give a shit here. So
No.
anyway,
Yeah.
we got 2 promos in a main event. I like the angle they're possibly going with Christopher Daniels teasing, hey, is he retired? You know, SCU's done. What's that? He's not really saying. But then they also said basically, well, Kaz is going solo. And he's targeting the Elite. I won't say, oh, this is an amazing promo and going to go down in history, but it did what it needed to do, Brian. We now know Kaz is going to be a solo guy, which we kind of already knew, but it's being confirmed instead of the possibility of him getting a new partner.
Right. And I know I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but I'm guilty too. I actually didn't watch it, but I heard apparently Christopher Daniels did a promo on BTE that apparently everyone was saying that it should have been on Dark. Not on Dark. It should have been on Dynamite. It was that good. Like it was right after his match, so he was just very emotional.
I heard they were going to save it for Rampage.
Hey, they should. I mean, that's not till August, but they could.
Well, hold on. We'll save that for a second.
Yeah.
Let me get the other quick hit out of the way. Miro's promo. I predicted last week that we would have Miro versus Archer. It's become official now. What the fuck is with this thanking Jesus?
I don't know. That was a little strange too. I thought he was like, I don't know. Was he heel? But I don't know. That was one of those points where I was like, when people criticize AEW for giving the guys too much freedom, I was like, that might have been one of those moments where might have want to reel that back a little bit. But
yeah, I can't. I was sitting here like, okay, sure. Thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to win the TNT title and beat
right.
the 98-pound guy. Cool. Thanks, man. Whatever. So, before we go to main event, 2 things to unpack here, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
AEW is getting a 5th show on Friday nights. If you count Impact, that'll make 6 nights a week.
Not one of their shows.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, these. I'm fucking around with the whole Rampage. That's an asinine everything.
Why?
You don't book currently properly, and you want to get me more time, and you make me watch Inner Circle promos and Pinnacle promos. And you have guys that are ranked high in your meaningless rankings that have wrestled 2 matches, and now you want me to watch Rampage? No.
Well,
no. And the icing on the cake, Brian. What is the belt Miro carries?
That is the TBS Superstation title.
Oh, it's the TBS Superstation title. So. Dynamite's a pretty cool name for a show on a network called TNT. Is Dynamite and Rampage as cool as TBS?
I mean, if you really want to be petty about shit, then
or is Ted Turner's company trying to? He doesn't own it anymore. Whatever. the one he founded. Whatever. If the media mogul that is TNT and TBS, the corporation, maybe they're just trying to get some of that Big Bang Theory and Friends, and syndication ratings to trickle over into AEW, or vice versa. Maybe they want AEW to bring up their Big Bang Theory reruns. Who knows?
Maybe. I know Tony said that they got 8 figures to move over to TBS next year. So I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing for them. So
well, but I have what? Okay, I'll get serious. I've been being a dick here, Brian. So I'll be serious with you. The move doesn't necessarily not make sense or anything, but it has me scratching my head. Does that mean on a Wednesday night, when there's an NBA playoff game on TNT, Are they going to allow Dynamite to go on TBS head to head? Are they going to? What I'm saying is, are they going to put a sports program against their NBA?
Yeah, that's the whole reason why they're moving over to TBS, is that there aren't scheduling conflicts.
Do you think the NBA is going to be happy about that, Brian? Do you think the NBA?
I don't think they're going to really care. I don't think the NBA looks at AEW as a threat.
No, it's not as a threat. It's that they want the sponsorship of and being the act in town. And it's not like Fox, who has no affiliation with TNT or TBS, is putting out something. It is your sister network, which in most fucking cable everywhere is one fucking number apart from each other. I think it's weird to do not only a potential head-to-head with one of you, with your only other sport that is covered on either of these networks, and number two, that they're going to add another show on a Friday that's an hour. And these names suck, by the way. Dark Elevation, Rampage, BTE. These sound like these aren't even worthy of Adult Swim titles.
You sound like okay. Well, what would you call them, Adam? If you don't like those names, what would you call them? Since you're so smart.
Okay, never mind. I withdraw my argument after what Stike says.
What?
He says if they go against the NBA, they're going to get killed in the ratings like Raw does with Monday Night Football. I think, Stike, you made a great point that is 100% wrong. Football and wrestling have a very similar and overlapping fan base. I don't believe that basketball and wrestling do. So therefore, it might not be a competition so much as, hey, they're going to get this audience, they're going to get that audience. And they wouldn't have had any, they would barely have any overlap. Is that fair to say, though? I'm not trying to be, lumping anyone with judgments, but I mean, football and wrestling fans seem to go more hand in hand than basketball and wrestling.
No. No,
so you can't use the Monday Night Football argument there.
No. I'm saying no to you. Oh, I don't agree with you, but I don't. Do you have numbers that prove that or anything, or
no? I'm just talking out my ass.
That's just a hunch. I see.
I'm just talking out my ass. I thought it. I still. I definitely think what I'm saying is accurate. What you're saying, Brian, is probably more accurate. Like, it could be so fucking minuscule that what the hell am I talking about? It doesn't even matter. But yeah, maybe I will wrong. I don't know.
Please listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
Not this time though. Not this time. Maybe I'm off. Even the board's calling me out. Estrada says, "What the fuck's Adam talking about?" Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mate. That's exactly it, Adam. NBA fans are not equal to wrestling fans. To them, it's more numbers, not competitive numbers. Okay. So it took me a while to talk myself through an argument. Thank you, board, for indulging me and anybody else who had to suffer through that. Speaking of suffering through, hey, we got the Bucks in a main event match. Earlier in the night, their opponents, the Varsity Blondes, I had no problem with the promo that Pillman Jr. started with. You know, I didn't get into wrestling because of my dad or blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. When the promo took a turn to we're kissing ass for the Bucks, it felt weird.
Why?
Like, who scripted this? Who thought this is a good idea? That these opponents who we already know aren't going to win are going to cut a promo that says, hey, we're just happy to be here kind of thing. That's the way I took it, and that's exactly what happened. Julia Hart, good for you. The Bucks I mean, I know they're heels, Brian. I know
Mhm.
I know they're embracing this hate, but they cheated to win against the Varsity Blondes in a main event that, you know what, on this card, I don't know what the fuck you would have put as a main event. Not shitting on the matches, but this would have been an opportunity for Inner Circle and Pinnacle to have something of a match to close the show. They did not have a worthy match on the card tonight for a main event. And this is what they threw in there because they're like, hey, it's for the tag titles, and we're going to send Mox and Kingston out at the end to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of their 6 matches had After Effects.
What do you mean After Effects? Like,
somebody came out after. Cage and Seidel, we have Starks and Team Taz.
Okay.
Rebel and Sheeta, we have Britt. Even if it's predictable, we had Britt. Factory versus Family, we had Factory and Family at the end. I mean, the promo with Sting, you got Dark Order coming out at the end. I mean, you can throw that in if you want, and then here we have, Bucks and Varsity Blondes, and you have Mox and Kingston coming out again. So, yeah, it's any one of these things, Brian, I would be just like you, I think, in terms of my fandom and love of this, if you didn't watch the entire episode or every week. Because when you look at just these clips or look at just these segments or look at them standing alone, a lot of them are fucking gold. But when the theme tends to do the same thing each week, I don't know. It's not quite the same. Is that fair? I don't want you to think I'm in Robland.
In Robland, what does that mean?
Like, I don't hate AEW at all.
You don't?
No. That's why I'm saying, like, you take certain ones of these, you take anything that happened tonight by itself. Not, oh, well, they did this last week. Well, they did this 3 weeks ago. Well, they did this 2 weeks ago. Well, they did this month. If you take it just tonight, it's usually really good. Like, if this was the only promo that we saw between Blood and Guts and Stadium Stampede for Inner Circle and Pinnacle, I would have no problem with the way it was tonight. But coming off of a week where we already had the champagne and the challenge was already thrown there, it was like, it's just, I would have rather seen, and they didn't even need to fight each other. Okay, Brian, here, I'll meet you halfway. What if anybody from Inner Circle fought anybody else on the roster tonight, and after the match, they cut that promo saying, we accept? Then you're not, your whole argument against me was you don't want them to come to blows. Well, they wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't. But I mean, what's the purpose of them even having the match though in the first place? What, just like a tune-up or whatever?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, you got, what the fuck is Moxley and Kingston doing against the Acclaimed? If that's not a tune-up, I don't know what the fuck that is. The Bucks versus the Varsity Blondes. Here's another tune-up. But Pinnacle, Inner Circle, we just don't wrestle very much or at all. Are they wrestling on Dark or the shows I don't watch?
No.
Okay, so they really aren't. And you already have broken the barrier of, hey, we're going to have post-match shit every time. So you could literally just book Santana and What's-His-Nuts to fight anybody else, and Pinnacle shows up after the match. The next week, you put Pinnacle to fight anyone else, and Inner Circle shows up. I don't know.
Could do that. Yeah, I don't know. That's a nice fantasy.
Yeah. AEW is going to have to dip more into the comedy well to keep up on TBS with things like Big Bang Theory. It's not going to be good. Again, DP, though, that's not the audience they're trying to go after. They're not worried about the Friends audience. So it could be very different. Anyway, Let's see what we have next. We have the Mox Kingston come out. It's obvious that they're gonna fight already. We already knew that. But this feels like a go home show kind of ending. You know, Mox and Kingston standing tall over the Bucks. You're like, oh, could they take the titles? But we got a few weeks to go.
Only one more week.
Is it only one? What the fuck day?
It's only 1 week.
Oh, Jesus.
Only 1 week.
5/19.
Yeah. What's today?
Where the hell does the time go? My bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe then I'm wrong. This is their ending because they're not going to be the ending of the show next week. It's probably going to be Stampede at the end as the main event. As they go off air, they'll have all 10 men like Brian wants finally coming to blows. Stike here. Stike even has a good suggestion. You could have Sammy fight Ryan Nemeth as a tune-up. Nemeth puts on good matches. Put him on the show. We know he's not going to win on Dynamite, so why not? You've got Colt Cabana. You've got all these. I mean, then you could put all your Dark Order cronies without having to shoehorn them in somewhere else.
Weren't you just crying that there were matches on the card that you knew that you were like, well, I know this person's going to win, so what's the point of even having it?
I'm trying to find something. If there's 10 things wrong, I've got it. Give me 2, and I'll start to feel a little better. But that's one of them right there. I mean, yes, if you're going to continue to put we know the Acclaimed isn't going to win here matches on, then why not feature some of these other guys? I like Colt. Varsity Blondes weren't going to win. They got featured here. Red Velvet wasn't going to win. She got featured. Reba wasn't going to win. He got featured. Austin Gunn wasn't going to win. They got featured. I mean, the closest we had to a match of toss-up caliber, Brian, tonight was Cage and Sydal, and I didn't think Matt Sydal could beat Christian Cage without a screw job from Team Taz. So really, the entire card tonight was obvious and predictable. So if you're going to go that route anyway, let's embrace it. And let's really rotate it up. Let's put somebody like Nemeth on there. This is how guys will get noticed. This is one of the things that everybody loved about the Attitude Era. Was, you knew Al Snow wasn't going to beat the Intercontinental Champion Dwayne Johnson. But fuck, they put Al Snow against The Rock for whatever to set up his match with Mankind. I don't know. What's up, Tony?
Tony.
None of that resonate with you in any way, Brian?
No, I don't know because no. Ryan Nemeth. You just made a whole diatribe about Ryan Nemeth, really?
No, I made a diatribe of you said what you just bitched about that, and I was saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna embrace it. You're gonna book the card the way you're gonna book it with obviousness. At least I can get familiar with these guys. I'm walking away tonight, Brian, with going. I've seen Varsity Blondes. I think they're decent, but I didn't think Red Velvet was worth a fuck as a wrestler. I walked away tonight because, again, I don't watch Dark, but I walked away tonight going, damn, I was wrong there. She is not a diva. She is a women's wrestler. Who knew? Some of the stuff like, I got to see Dean Malenko. That's cool. I mean, some of it, there was a lot of cool stuff. Even though it was obvious with Reba and Shida, it made the most sense for your post-match shit. That made the most sense for the story. Britt should come out there. That's her buddy. It made perfect sense. That alliance has been built up for months and months and months. That's not a crazy run-in. So that anyway, I'm going all crazy off tangent here at the end. What do you think for next week's Go Home show? We're going to do some predictions. Do you think that we'll get any surprises at Double or Nothing?
What, like debuts or anything?
No,
or just like surprise matches?
I mean like belts changing hands. Because right now, to me, the only lock is Britt.
Yeah,
Kenny and the Bucks are they're not losing. Mox and Kingston may win by DQ. The Bucks could get counted out. Something. The belts are not changing hands in the Mox
I agree.
Kingston.
I agree with that, and I don't think that Miro's not losing the belt either.
I don't know how you save Archer. I think this is too soon to put a Miro Archer booking together when Miro just got the title.
Yeah, I agree with that. Unless they're really going to go with Archer going over Miro and then running with that. But
you know what I just came up with, Brian?
What's that?
Archer's going to win by DQ because Kip is going to attack Miro.
Oh, okay.
You save Archer. I mean, you save him. He wins the match. Technically, he doesn't get the title. It's not his fault.
Right.
You set up another situation where on Dynamite, Archer could be like, Kip, you fucked me. I want to wrestle you. And then Miro attacks Kip after the match, and Archer wins again because of DQ. And he's like, fuck you guys. I mean, that's a fun little storyline.
That'd be cool.
Right? I mean, and that would work in a fun little bit, and you'd save everybody. I don't want Miro to just win.
Yeah, no, it can't just be a clean win over him. There's got to be some fuckery going on with that one, especially.
Yeah, it can't. And yeah, Omega's not dropping OC or Pac. We know that. So, yeah, Brian, the women's title is the one that's changing. I wonder about some other stuff. So we'll see. If you've got some final thoughts, throw them up on the board, guys, because we are going to slowly close this out. In order to do that,
oh yeah, we need that. Definitely need that.
Yes. Nothing like Natalie Imbruglia.
No, she's the best, man.
Tony says he doesn't think this one's going to be as good as last year.
I'm with him. I'm not blown away from the card, but maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised, right?
I think I don't want to run it down side by side. I think the card is similar, Brian. I think the build was better. I think they wanted to blow their nut. So they, went with blood and guts. And I don't know, they could have done something else with that time. They maybe could have built to bigger, more, I don't know what the word would be, but that type of feud that we're like, God, I have to see this. I have to know who's going to win this. Like, it felt some of it feels kind of thrown together as an afterthought, like Pac and Orange Cassidy being Omega's opponent. What was it? 2 weeks ago, we're talking about Hangman, Christian, or Mox again. Right. And I don't think anyone was mentioning Pac or fucking Orange Cassidy.
No, definitely not.
Maybe for the TNT title, but yeah, anyway. So, I don't know. Soji says, I think Miro beats up Archer and then gets a DQ that way. I don't know. I definitely think Kip could show back up. Remember last time we saw Kip, he was beating the fuck out of in the locker room.
That's true. Good point. We haven't seen him since.
Yeah. So I do like having the not Rob hate on Dynamite. That's my final thought. A lot of good segments tonight when you unpack them by themselves. Tony, I think you're right. Not going to be as good as last year, but I think the matches will be just as good. I just think we're not involved with the story as much as we were. So you can check us Monday with the Marks. The All Elite Hour will be out sometime between now and then. We have a special guest. The Wise Old Jew will be joining us on Monday, so that'll be fun.
Please listen to my voice. Take it from the Wise Old Jew.
Since I know he doesn't listen to this, Brian, I thought of a game.
Okay.
Where we can ask him if he's ever heard of Paul Levesque, and he could be like, no. We're like, oh, have you heard of Triple H? And he's like, yes. And go, have you ever heard of Terry Bollea? He's like, no. We're like, do you know who Hulk?
People, like the real, yeah, we could see if he knows real names, I guess.
I bet you he doesn't know that they're the same. And we could ask him each one, and he'll recognize some. Like Michael Higginbottom, no way. No way.
Definitely not.
And I'm talking like we'll do some real ones. And then we can even drop in.
Johnson.
Like, yeah, Mick, well, he'll get that one.
Okay.
But like, we could throw in, I think he might even get Mick Foley. And I know he'll get John Cena. But like, if we could throw in like Kurt Angle, he might not know that one. Just weird stuff like that. I think we can have some fun with him. But maybe we can get him to explain kayfabe to us again. So basically, don't miss out Monday. If you missed out last time he was here, it was a lot of fun, and he's going to be back.
Yeah.
Until then, for Brian, I'm Adam. We're going to be back same Smart time, same Smart channel. Oh, remember, there's no audio.
There's no audio. Why is there no audio?
Just like the other thing didn't come through. So hey, marked out. If you like us, follow us on this.
Yeah.
Donate by Cash App. I'm trying to think of what else he says. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Yeah, for more great information, go there.
For more shows like the one that you're listening to, subscribe to Marked Out Wrestling or something. I don't know. Honestly, we should probably know what they say at this point. But
right. Well, no, we usually talk over it. Marked Out
that's
Ding
true.
Dong.
Harry on the Ding Dong.
So here's what I'm going to end with.
Reviews on iTunes!